3 days before my wedding, my world shattered. A short video, barely 30 seconds long, flipped everything upside down, revealing a side of my fiancée, Claire, I never thought existed. That clip wasn't meant for me. It was shared in a private chat with her closest friends, a blurred mess of motion, indistinct faces, the soundtrack of raucous laughter, clinking glasses, and a voice bragging about 3 strangers. The words, "You're a legend," echoed, and with every replay the sinking weight in my chest grew heavier. The engagement ring, once a symbol of hope and love resting in its satin-lined box, suddenly felt like a suffocating anchor dragging me under. Claire and I had built 6 years of life together, enduring her mother's illness, my job losses, countless quiet nights filled with promises whispered in the dark. But one wild weekend in Las Vegas erased it all. I never confronted her. There were no screams, no confrontations. Instead, I saved the video, meticulously extracted the audio, and archived every damning message from her friend's chat. Then I smiled coldly. This wasn't just about calling off a wedding. It was about making sure Claire would face a reckoning so unforgettable, it would haunt her forever. When Claire returned from Vegas, glowing with sun-kissed skin and an electric smile, her excitement was contagious. "It was crazy, love," she said, tossing her heels aside. "But I'm ready to be your wife." I nodded, my face a practiced mask of warmth, my heart a glacier. "Sounds like you had the time of your life," I said softly, pressing a kiss to her forehead, while inside a cold storm brewed. She never noticed the subtle shift, didn't feel the silent goodbye hanging heavy in the air. That night, while she slept, her phone buzzed endlessly with messages from bridesmaids. I stayed awake until 4:15 a.m., fully prepared. I grabbed my passport, laptop, and a burner phone I'd bought earlier. I left the ring on the kitchen counter beside a brief note, "Don't contact me. You'll understand why soon." By sunrise, I was on a flight to Portland, not fleeing but planting the first stone for what was next. The rehearsal dinner was a masterclass in absence. Claire arrived at the venue, flawless makeup, her gown a perfect picture of grace, expecting laughter and celebration. Instead, she was met with silence. My phone was off. My family unreachable. My groomsmen nowhere to be found. Her voicemail overflowed with unanswered calls. By noon, confusion turned to chaos. Her mother whispered nervously, "Did something happen in Vegas?" Her father demanded answers no one could provide. Some bridesmaids, already clued in, kept quiet as loyalties fractured. The wedding day arrived with no ceremony, no groom, no explanation. Claire stood alone in her dress, surrounded by murmurs and shattered dreams. I erased myself completely. Deleted social media profiles. Cut shared finances. Ended the apartment lease. Redirected vendor payments. No confrontation. No drama. Just an empty space where I once was. The emotional fallout was just beginning. In the days that followed, Claire's carefully constructed world unraveled. She scrambled to rewrite the story, telling anyone who'd listen that I'd backed out without reason, that I was unstable. But lies survive only when truth stays hidden. On the Wednesday after the chaos, I sent the first email. The subject was blunt. Attached was a carefully edited 1-minute video from Claire's Vegas trip, screenshots of her friends' messages, and a recording of her laughter. 3 recipients. Her parents, her boss at the PR firm, and her younger brother, who'd always been wary of me. Within hours, Claire's digital life started to vanish. Instagram, LinkedIn, professional profiles, all wiped clean. By Friday, her employer launched an investigation, citing behavior unbefitting a company-funded trip in a city teeming with clients. Her friends turned on her faster than I expected. 2 bridesmaids posted public apologies to the wedding guests, expressing shock and disbelief. One, Jessica, messaged me privately claiming Claire told her I was fine with everything, that we had some kind of open arrangement. She apologized. I never replied. Their remorse wasn't for Claire, it was self-preservation. The fallout was merciless. Within weeks, Claire was jobless, abandoned by most of her bridal party, estranged from her family. Her father sent me a brief email, thanking me for exposing the truth. One of the men from that night, Mark, shared a video with his own network. Soon, it spread through Claire's extended family. Her aunt called, ashamed of the family scandal. The humiliation wasn't just online, it swallowed every part of her life, heavy and unavoidable. I hadn't spoken to her since I left, but the silence between us was deafening. A month later, I updated our wedding website, the place where guests had RSVP'd. Now it was titled "Why the Wedding Never Happened." The page held a calm, measured letter. I wrote that I had loved Claire deeply, supported her dreams, imagined a future together, but I couldn't marry someone who used me as a stepping stone, who betrayed me with strangers while pretending I was her constant. I included a quote from her own messages: "He's dependable. I'll marry him, take what I can, and move on to something bigger." The evidence was subtle but undeniable: screenshots, clips, just enough to tell the story. The response was swift and merciless. Her family distanced themselves further. Her brother stopped speaking to her. Mark's family, connected to her father's company, severed ties. Her employer confirmed her termination, citing unacceptable conduct. Even Jessica, the bridesmaid who reached out to me, posted publicly, "Actions have consequences. I choose integrity." Claire was isolated not because I destroyed her, but because her own choices shattered her world. I simply held up a mirror. Her final message came one still Tuesday night: "You got your vengeance. I'm ruined, my career, my friends, my family. I can't even leave my house without facing stairs. Are you happy?" I never replied. This wasn't about triumph. It was about truth. 6 months later, I sat in a quaint bistro in Lisbon, the Atlantic breeze carrying salt and hope. Claire's life had slowly started to rebuild. She moved in with a distant cousin, took a low-paying cashier job, tried to launch a lifestyle blog that never gained traction. Her name remained tarnished, her reputation in ruins. She sent one last message: "I know I can't fix it. I ruined the one person who truly loved me. I carry that with me every day." I didn't reply, not out of bitterness but because moving forward means letting go. Through it all, I found freedom. I reconnected with old friends, started a freelance marketing business, traveled, and volunteered teaching coding to kids in underserved communities. One evening, over wine in Madrid, a friend remarked, "You seem different. Stronger. Freer." I nodded. The price had been steep, but the rewards far greater. Peace, self-worth, and a life no longer anchored to someone else's approval. This isn't just a story of betrayal or revenge. It's about reclaiming your worth when someone treats you like disposable, mistaking your loyalty for weakness. You don't need to scream or plead. You step away, let their actions unravel them, and move on. Truth doesn't have to be loud. It lands with precision and lingers long after the noise fades. If you've ever been betrayed, remember this: justice doesn't always burn. Sometimes it's the quiet strike that changes everything.